going on, everybody? John Lee from Olde City Paranormal, and guys, welcome to 8th and Race, Philadelphia Police Headquarters, the former Philadelphia Police Headquarters, as promised. Well, we have Mike Zioli here, we have Tommy Morrow here, we have Mike, who's a photographer with the police department, and guys, this has been long overdue. Here we are in the main lobby of police headquarters. Before we go any further, I wanted to share one quick story with you guys in reference to paranormal investigations. This was probably about 2014. I was working at 3 p.m., or I apologize, it was the overnight shift. We had just received some items from the World Trade Center and the Pentagon from 9/11. I was working at this desk right here, and you guys can see the magnetometer here. And it's, you know, anybody would come through with metal and it would go off. Well, I was working at nighttime, and the machine, the same night that the 9/11 stuff was brought in, the magnetometer went off, and you know, didn't think nothing of it. I thought somebody walked by. Well, it happened again. I looked up, and there was nobody here. Mentioned to the lady, my old partner that was working behind me, I said, "Hey, does this machine ever go off by itself?" And she says, "No." She goes, "Didn't somebody walk by?" And I was like, "No." So I actually physically got up and I walked around the counter here, and there was nobody here. So coincidence? But again, guys, Philadelphia Police Headquarters, some of the most notorious murders happen here, rapists. They were all, wherever they were locked up here, they were brought down here to the cell rooms for processing, and then they were taken up to the prison systems. I was here when a gentleman actually committed suicide. I won't go too much into the detail, but I was there. So we're here to figure out if some of these notorious criminals are still present here in police headquarters. Also, keep in mind, we are just blocks away from Independence Hall, colonial times, Revolutionary War. So, got to try to figure out what we're going to kick up today. So stay tuned. We're going to be heading down to the cell rooms with the rest of you guys, and I hope you enjoyed today's investigation. Down here is, now we're heading down to the cell rooms. This should be pretty interesting. And here's the entry to the cell rooms where most of the notorious criminals of Philadelphia were brought in. Well, guys, here we are. This is cell number 6. When I was upstairs working, again, I mentioned about a gentleman who was in here for sex crimes, and he had a port here in his chest. He had pulled the port out. I guess, you know, he knew what kind of trouble he was going to be in. And yeah, when we came in, there was actually blood coming out the cell room here. So you can see we have the tripwire here. We have the tripwire set up here. It's our EMF detector. It's got some of the guys still setting up some of the equipment back here. So yeah, we're just about ready to ask some questions and see if any of Philadelphia's notorious criminals are still present.
All right, it is 11:21 a.m. Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. basement of the roundhouse by the holding cells, and in this cell right here, someone was reported to have committed suicide. And I'm going to leave my recorder on the bed here. I also have a REM pod on this bed here. And we have a tripwire going starting from this cell and going all the way down that way. We got it hanging on the doors here. So we're just getting started here. It's not usually something I say, but is anybody here with us this morning?
Would you like to tell us your name? The gentleman who passed away in this cell, were you sorry for your actions? We have these lights strung up along the cell room doors. If you want to let us know if you're here with us, you can light up these lights for us.
So we can see if something happens with that.
On the cell bed where you laid, you also have a piece of equipment. If you touch the antenna on there and let us know if you're here, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're not here to hurt you, we're just here to communicate with you.
You're not in any trouble. Nobody is here to arrest you, even though you might recognize these guys.
Put my case in.
My name is Michael. Can you tell me your name? So they actually had to open these to feed them.
Probably.
I don't see any tray.
Well, no, we didn't have trees, so what we actually did was the catering company would have cheese sandwiches, so it was wrapped cheese sandwiches and milk cartons or iced tea.
That's
Just go right through.
Yeah, and you just put it through.
Huh. You didn't have to worry about anybody.
No
grabbing
trays.
it.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, you did have people in here that, again, we all know mental health affects the city
Oh,
a lot. We see it firsthand. And, there are people that most likely are going to put in these suicide cells here. In that case scenario, you might slide it under the door, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what your mental state is yet.
might spit on you or something.
People, they've had it where people have gone to the bathroom in here and not used the toilet and decided they wanted to make artwork with it.
Yeah. Lovely. Power wash it away.
Yep. So I want to let you know, if the gentleman you're here that had passed away, we did try to come in, we did try to save you, but unfortunately it was too late. I'm sure although your families were upset with you, I'm sure they were kind of upset that you did want to pass him, but if you could communicate with us, we have our voice recorder there on the bench as well. We have this device here. If you just walk up to it, you can make the lights fluctuate, or you can maybe make the temperature drop. Temperature's reading right now 62.9. If you can make that drop 10 degrees, that would be awesome. And we say that because usually a 10-degree fluctuation is pretty significant.
Yeah.
In
About what you would expect to.
Yeah. Can you make any of the cell doors shut? That would be pretty cool.
We're gonna go to the women's side and see if they're more willing to enter.
If that was you, look, I'm getting goosebumps, dude. Yo, Tom, you hear that, right?
No.
As I'm saying, keep it up, or we're gonna go to the women's side and see if they're gonna give us some more attention.
I got goosebumps. As soon as Mike says we're leaving, we're gonna go to the women's side, my K2 starts going off right in front of us.
Andrew, can you take a look at this stupid camera? I can't get it to fucking.
Yeah. Ghost problem.
If that was you, we greatly appreciate it. Do you want us to stay here with you?
No.
Okay, we're here.
11:39. I'm going here. Just to...
And I can honestly tell you, my device here usually does not go off at all. Try to back up away from it a little bit, Mike.
I just put my phone in airplane mode.
Just to verify.
It's not my phone, because I just killed it.
I mean, I have nothing on me electronically.
Let me get where I can see behind you.
I have nothing on me that's electronic. Are you upset with us being here? Are you okay with it?
You do the same thing with the purple lights too, if you could get closer to those. You see it's not gonna hurt you. You like that someone's down here trying to talk to you? I'm sure you've been pretty lonely down here. There's been nobody down here, man. When did you guys leave this facility?
2021. Yeah, that's like playing a song, isn't it? It almost had like a melody.
It did.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that like SOS? Were you trying to? I don't know SOS. Now that's pretty cool. Usually it would go off and but you heard it. It was like
Almost like Morse code.
It was a pattern. So which is cool, and CEOs will vouch on this. Prisoners used to do code to communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we on our obviously you're seeing it firsthand. We're getting some major fluctuations out of cell 6 again, where the gentleman committed suicide. But like we mentioned, and anybody who watches this, maybe in law enforcement, would know that a lot of times prisoners would tap to communicate. Matter of fact, Glenn Orwin, at one of his investigations at a prison, I can't think of the word of it, but they would tap, and the K2. It might be picking. I think it's picking up. Might be picking up you now.
My phone's in airplane mode.
Yeah, I put mine in airplane mode too.
That's it. It kills all
Yeah.
like that. That's usually our protocol for investigating, because that cuts out false positives.
I mean, that's too steady right now.
Can you also touch the purple light on the cell door? It's up to the left. You see it? Can you grab that purple light?
Yeah, so the guy John, he had worked here for quite some time, and he had just finished a late night shift, and he was over by the elevators, by the homicide division. You know, he was going down the elevator, and there was a guy who walked up right next to him. You know, had the like whole detective look. He had the trench coat, he had the hat and everything, but kind of had like a weird presence to him or whatever. So John said hi, and the guy didn't really acknowledge him or anything. And John was, guy, whatever, it's a late night. So he didn't really think much of it, and then maybe, you know, a week later, he's going kind of by the like memorial that they have by the elevator of all the like fallen officers in the world.
Are you sure?
It was in some spots.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's when you're not paying
Yeah.
attention that stuff starts to happen. I was still hearing it while you were down there. Yeah. There's no water down
It could be leaking somewhere. Maybe.
there? Here, let me take a look. I gotta take a look just to make sure that there's no moisture.
Maybe it's on the other side of the cell door.
So so the guy, when he had some kind of interaction with somebody?
Yeah. And so he saw the guy, you know, on the fallen officers board, and he was like, "Oh, that's a shame. I saw the guy, you know, a week ago, and he just passed away. He had passed away 2 or 3 years prior.
Oh, no shit.
And he, like, you know, like still maintains to this day, like it was that exact same guy. So, which kind of makes sense that he didn't acknowledge him or anything. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, that was his only roundhouse ghost story.
There's no moisture down there.
But you heard it too, right?
Oh, it went on while you were down there. It was still going on.
And this thing keeps going off. This is.
Oh,
Do you hear it again?
hello?
You hear it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hope it's not a rat trying to come out of one of these toilets. There's food in here.
So as Mike was telling his story, we heard something going on down here. I don't know if it sounded like footsteps or water, something like that, but it keeps coming and going.
John, what was this? Did you see this? It looks like there's like, I thought it was food, but it looks like there was some kind of something was up there.
Yeah, I know.
But that looks like food. It looks almost like,
Try to taste it, see what it tastes like.
oh, I'm not eating that. That looks like a cookie or something. But
We're
there's
getting
stuff,
readings.
see how it's up there?
Yeah.
On the vent.
See our meter going off right here? We were talking about, Mike said, look, you know, if let's leave, we'll go to the women's room. And as soon as he said it, my machine went bloop, and then it started like it was sounded like a Morse code again. Ding, ding, ding. And it was like a pattern. Really pretty cool.
It's up here too. It's almost like this person put that stuff up there. It's up on that too, and I don't see it anywhere else. Oh yeah, it's there too. And it's there, okay.
Maybe it was something to block it.
Interesting, yeah, look, it's on that bed too.
Oh, did you ever have any interaction with anything down here? Did you ever see anything?
You know, it's like sometimes you just like see a flash, you know, and you look back and it's like, maybe I'm seeing things, or you just get a kind of
It just don't you get
a
that.
kind of funny feeling, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I had that a lot of times coming down. I don't come back here like that,
No, I wouldn't blame you.
but in the sub basement, going downstairs,
Yeah.
yeah, there is kind of like creepy too.
Oh, look, part of a roach.
You're talking about the insect, right, Mike? Not the
Yep.
the cannabis.
Not the cannabis, the real roach.
Well, maybe we should walk around and try to check out some other areas so we're not wasting too much time in here.
You're saying that the sub basement's creepy. Why don't we check that out? But you said it's gonna be loud. But is that stuff on anymore?
All right, we're now on the first floor of the roundhouse, and right behind me here was the homicide division. Spent many times going in there throughout my tours. Again, in these offices here where we're about to go into, there are some interrogation rooms and stuff like that. Nobody that I know of has ever passed away, or nobody's ever tried to harm himself inside these cells, not that I know of, or has anybody ever passed away. So maybe the theory of emotion might catch in this this part of the old police administration building. So come on in, we're gonna go into homicide.
So there could be dead bodies in there.
Is this where those detectives work that we went and investigated their house? Didn't you say that they were both
Yes.
homicide detectives?
Yes.
They worked in this office.
Yep.
That's awesome. It's like we come full circle on our investigation history in here. Wow. What's all this? Is this the clothes in here? Forbes. What is this from?
2017 issue of Forbes, which we probably
So
have.
over here, Mike, this is some of the interrogation rooms here. These are interrogation rooms.
Wow.
And they would, you know that there was somebody in there because the light would be on up top.
Now, is it like the movies where they let people smoke in these interrogation
Nah.
rooms?
Well, not, I maybe back in the early days, but as of recent, probably not.
Because in all the movies, they always let you smoke in the interrogation rooms. And this has the secret window, right? So this would have been like a mirrored. It would look like a mirror, but someone could see in from the other side.
Most likely, most likely.
And there's cameras in here. Multiple cameras, like Vegas.
Yeah, so here was the room, Mike. Like you said, the opposite side. And you would have the sliding locks on there for the opposite room, just as well as you would inside this interrogation room as well.
It's right here. You got
So-
2 secret windows in this room.
Yeah. Yep.
Suspect logs and chronologies must be starting complete for each suspect. Entering the homicide unit, no matter the reason or duration.
And we have some, I guess, some former clothes. The homicide guys that would work like late night shifts or something like that, I guess. Got some ties in here still.
This is crazy. So now we did the current and former police headquarters. Did you see that there's some evidence bag? Nice. I gotta get a pic of that too. All right, it is 12/16, still May 21st, 2025. We're now in the homicide division of the roundhouse. There are some things on the floor that you might hear us step on. I'm gonna move this paper bag out of the way just to cut down on that. Here, actually, John. I'm gonna put my audio in here too.
If there's anybody here with us inside this interrogation room, we have 3 devices on this table. If you go close to them,
That was me.
that was Mike.
Put this up by the secret window.
Have a seat, sir. I want to ask you some questions.
Can I smoke?
No smoking. Michael, where were you on the night of May 21st, 2025?
I don't know, because that's the night.
Well, if there's anybody here with us, you got Mike here, you have John. You guys, if there's anybody in here, probably have never seen me before. Maybe you have seen me before. Not here to hurt you, we're here to communicate. As far as I know, nobody had passed away in here. So we're basically maybe going off emotion, maybe. The trying times of being investigated by the police department for a potential homicide.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody here with us, we have some devices on the table. Please feel free to communicate with us. And behind me, we have a digital recorder, which I'm sure you've seen before when a detective is questioning you, right? I'm sure there's some kind of tape recorder recording the event. But you can make these lights light up, it'd be greatly appreciated. Could you tell us your name?
Did it blow?
I'm not sure. I thought I may have heard a blip. Are you trying to communicate with us? That's a trap. Could you tell us what year it is? I was calling you Mike earlier. I don't know why. For some reason I kept saying Mike. Can you tell us why you're here?
I was asking John, because you know how in most movies in the interrogation rooms they like let the prisoner smoke.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I was using the bathroom maybe 2 weeks ago, and it just reeked of cigs in the hallway, and especially when you got to the homicide interrogation room.
Oh, at the new place?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Figured.
So yeah, they do. Apparently they do. They'll still.
I asked one of the guys there. He said, "Oh, we don't do that here, but we did in the old building." I'm like, yeah, all right, buddy.
Did they let you smoke in here?
I wasn't sure, but I thought I got another blip on my thing, but I wasn't 100% sure. These cameras are off, so you feel free to communicate with us.
Yeah, no one's arresting you today. You're not in any trouble.
Whatever murder you were being investigated for, did you do it or no? Did you know who did it? Instead of a decrease in temperature, we're getting an increase in temperature.
On this or
Mine.
on my EDI?
Yours is 68.5. I just went up to 67.
That's always like, because that has that rubber casing on it.
A little bit hotter.
It always seems to be a little, yeah, it's always slightly different than whatever other device you have. Because it has to go through that rubber into the sensors like on the inside.
Can we make the temperature go down in here? Right now we're at 67. Could we get it down to 57 degrees to let us know that you're here if you can't talk to us? Again, you know, which is a really cool factor here. Not only, and I mentioned at the beginning of this, trying to figure out if anything ever happened here, like, you know, through anybody who committed any crime, but right down the road is Independence Hall, right? This is where it all happened here in Philadelphia.
Indeed, and we were supposed to get into Independence Hall, remember?
Yeah, yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Hopefully that'll happen someday. If you're out there watching this and you like what we do and you happen to work there and you'd like to babysit us one night and to investigate there, hit us up.
Feel free.
That's my
You
story.
hungry, Mike?
I am hungry. I only had a cookie for breakfast, so I actually brought some bars, but they're down in the basement
Where the rest of the bars that we found?
with the rest of my equipment.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say something. Can't remember what I was gonna say.
But yeah, that box of Cliff Bars that I wouldn't
Disgusting.
trust that because they're at least 4 years old.
Yeah.
At least.